Picture this. You're standing in the TSA line, confident you've followed every rule, when suddenly an officer pulls you aside and asks to examine your phone. What you discover next could turn your dream vacation into an 8-hour nightmare. Today, I'm revealing 5 hidden digital landmines on your device that could trigger an airport interrogation. And the shocking reality is that phone inspections have skyrocketed by over 300% in recent years. Most travelers have no idea that customs officers operate under completely different authority than regular TSA agents. They're not just looking for weapons or explosives. They're scanning for attitudes, associations, and digital footprints that might seem suspicious to someone working a 12-hour shift with minimal training on context or nuance. Let me start with something that catches even the most innocent travelers off guard: your private political conversations. That heated WhatsApp debate about current events from 6 months ago is still cached on your device. That social media post where you shared a political opinion, even something completely legal and reasonable, could be screenshot and saved in your camera roll without you realizing it. Here's a real example that'll shock you. An international traveler was detained for 6 hours because border agents flagged their social media content as potentially anti-American. Their posts were just personal opinions, nothing illegal whatsoever, but the confusion generated hours of interrogation and nearly resulted in visa complications. The solution is straightforward but requires action. Open every messaging platform you use and search for terms like government, politics, immigration, or border. Delete entire conversation threads that contain political discussions, regardless of how innocent they seemed when you wrote them. Don't just delete the messages, though. Go into your app settings and clear the cache and search history, because forensic recovery tools can retrieve deleted content if you only remove it from the conversation view. The second category that trips up travelers involves photographs from what officers consider sensitive locations. Customs agents receive minimal training on context, so when they see photos of you near industrial facilities, government buildings, airports, or even certain tourist landmarks, their first assumption often jumps to surveillance rather than sightseeing. Consider this frightening example. An engineer was held for 8 hours because his phone contained work photos from a nuclear facility he was professionally hired to inspect. Despite having proper credentials and legal authorization, the photo triggered an automatic security flag that cost him his connecting flight and created visa complications. Take action now by opening your photos and searching for terms like airport, factory, government, military, or protest. Delete anything that could be misinterpreted, even if it was just a tourist attraction. That selfie at the Capitol building or that Instagram story from an airport observation deck needs to go. Remember to check your recently deleted folder and permanently erase everything, because officers know to look there first. Here's an insider tip. Navigate to your phone settings, find privacy options, then location services, and disable significant locations. This erases the GPS history attached to your photos, which can reveal movement patterns that might raise questions. But before we continue to the most dangerous categories, I need you to hit that like button and subscribe, because what I'm about to reveal next are the traps that completely destroy travel plans. You've invested this much time learning these secrets, so don't miss the crucial information coming up. The third digital landmine involves your contact names and group chats. Officers scan your contact list looking for unusual patterns, foreign phone numbers, coded nicknames, or anything that seems deliberately obscure. A traveler was actually detained for 5 hours because his fantasy football group chat was named something that officers misinterpreted as drug-related. 5 entire hours over a harmless sports chat name. Everything from contacts labeled as random college connections to group chats with inside jokes creates suspicion in the minds of agents who don't understand the context. They don't get humor or friendly nicknames. They assume everything potentially means something sinister. Start cleaning this up 2 weeks before any travel. Remove all nicknames, slang terms, or ambiguous contact names. Change vague entries to proper names with clear relationships. Rename group chats to boring, obvious titles like family updates or book club. Delete any contact you cannot immediately explain to a stranger, because if an officer asks about someone and you hesitate for even 2 seconds, you've just extended your interrogation significantly. The fourth surprise involves apps you completely forgot you downloaded months or years ago. Officers scroll through every installed application, and certain categories trigger automatic red flags. Encrypted messaging platforms, cryptocurrency wallets, dating apps with international connections, or any software from countries currently under diplomatic scrutiny. Why do they care so much about forgotten apps? Because confusion generates compliance in their minds. If they cannot immediately understand why you have something installed, they assume you're hiding something important. One business traveler was interrogated for 4 hours because he had an encrypted messaging app installed for a single work project from 2 years earlier that he forgot to remove. Open your app library right now and delete anything you haven't actively used in the past 6 months. Pay special attention to encrypted messaging tools, international dating platforms, cryptocurrency exchanges, or any applications downloaded from non-domestic app stores. Now here's the costliest mistake that destroys more travel plans than everything else combined: panic deletions at the last minute. You just learned all this information and your flight leaves in 3 hours, so your instinct is to frantically start deleting everything right now. That panic response is the single biggest red flag you can possibly trigger. Airport systems now use behavioral analytics software that detects sudden deletion patterns. Large batches of removed content light up like warning signals on their monitoring systems. Even worse, forensic recovery tools can retrieve files deleted up to 90 days earlier, so your panicked cleanup might actually make things worse. A lawyer deleted old photos an hour before her international flight, thinking she was being cautious. Instead, agents flagged the unusual digital activity, detained her for 12 hours, and used recovery software to examine everything she had attempted to erase. She nearly lost her work visa over content she thought she had successfully removed. The smart approach requires planning ahead. Start your digital cleanup 30 days before any international travel. Delete sensitive content gradually, just a few items per day, which mirrors normal phone maintenance and avoids triggering behavioral monitoring systems. 3 days before departure, consider resetting your phone to factory settings and reinstalling only essential travel apps like airline reservations, offline maps, and emergency contacts. This creates a completely clean device without suspicious deletion patterns. For maximum protection, some experienced travelers carry a dedicated travel phone with minimal personal data, leaving their primary device safely at home. This eliminates risk entirely because there's simply nothing controversial to discover. The system relies on travelers not knowing these strategies, but now you're armed with insider knowledge that protects your privacy and prevents costly delays. Which digital landmine surprised you most? Are you planning to clean up political conversations or forgotten apps first? Let me know in the comments.